So exclusions in schools, what do you have to say to parents about exclusions?
I mean, exclusions from school is a really tricky one. Again, the law has changed from the time that I've been an education lawyer, whereby the independent review panels were able to reinstate, direct reinstatement. They can't do that anymore. It's only the governors. So I think the governors are given a lot of autonomy. But sadly, there is sometimes a bit of a risk as to whether the governors, well, naturally, they're not going to be as independent as an independent review panel will be. So again, I do say to parents that they need to front load it. But interestingly, with exclusion, sometimes I might, depending on financial, the finances as well, but I might give them some additional support for the governor's governing hearing, but then actually assist them in the independent review. But again, because reinstatement is only available by the governors, again, it's that front-loading idea where you then have to give it your all before the governors, because they're the only ones that can reinstate if that's what the parent wants. So I find these cases really difficult. And I think once a child's been excluded, it's becoming increasingly hard to get them back in. I have, again, been able to successfully sometimes on a without prejudice basis, try and get the exclusions cancelled before they meet the governors, which the head teacher can do, depending on the nature of the issue. But it depends, I think, again, if it's sort of drugs related or any weapons involved and things like that, which I'm not necessarily saying the child has always done what they're accused of. I think the clamping down on children these days it's such a balance. It's really strong. And I think some schools like to be seen to be doing more than others, if you see what I mean, in terms of the severity.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that certain decisions can be very disproportionate. There's never a dull moment because no two cases are ever the same. Head teacher is absolutely not willing to give me the evidence that he considered in making his decision to exclude, so that I can represent my client accordingly, which in the rules of natural fairness, I'm entitled to. And I mean, I'm shocked by his continual refusal. He's literally only just sent me, and it's like 2 pages. And so I'll be making representations as a result of that. And I find that teachers do that where they don't really have a lot of experience in it, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So sometimes they'll react.
Yeah. And what about, so I suppose in that respect, when they're not giving the evidence, obviously the parents themselves can do a subject access request.
Yeah.
But then in disclosure, surely you'd want to be, an application for disclosure if it gets to that point.
I mean, yeah.
But then you're not at a court level.
No,
this is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because then again, you're having to judicially review the governors
of course,
or the head. And are you going? Again, it's all this parallel litigation. Where does it end?
Yeah, where does it end? Yeah.
And is it giving the practical solution that you want?
Yeah, this ties in with my concern about the fairness of processes used within schools, because I think they are not familiar with external legal processes, but these failures, if we can call them that, can cause a problem later.
Absolutely.
I mean, what you're saying to me is quite shocking for me to hear, really, that, they're not disclosing the evidence and,
And he had this particular head teacher was like, well, your lawyer should know this, that she's not entitled to it. And I was like, I think you'll find that's not correct.
They say it so confidently, don't
they?
they?
They really did. Then I was sort of judging myself, thinking, wait a second, I'm sure I'm right on this one. And
so how did you get it? Sorry, how did you?
I had to threaten all sorts and just say that it's completely against the rules of natural justice, and I reserve my client's rights, and I'd have to JR if need be. But all of this, again, I'm not going to advise my client to do that because it's not resolving the issue. In the end,
and you're going down.
If I'm completely honest with you, I don't think he's got any evidence. He's sent me 2 pieces, which I don't think he's taken any statements from anybody else, and it's a shambles in my view. But we'll see. I'm ready to challenge it. So.
Well, on that note, it's so humbling to have such an esteemed educational specialist.
Thank you.
To speak with me today, and I'm sure the listeners would have found this very useful, whether it's a education law matter from a TRA perspective, or a EHCP, or an exclusion, or whatever we've spoken about. So thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure to be part of the podcast.
You're welcome. And I'm sure Pancho's enjoyed listening to this. Very educated Labrador Pancho is. He lives a life of luxury by...
That we can see.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.